Hello everybody and welcome to Art2Heart. Today I have the honor to present to you an abstract artist who creates these really amazing works with a very unique technique that she has mastered. She's a master artist on this technique. I've seen a lot of this type of work, but this is really spectacular. And she is Rebel. Rebel, thank you and welcome to Art2Heart.
Thank you, Viviana, for hosting me. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be with you.
Well, tell us about your work. The way you create these works is simply incredible. I love it.
What I've done is I pride myself in not using any mediums of any kind except my acrylic. So a lot of people think that I do my effects, or like I call them, my space flowers, or the bubbles that you see with some kind of pouring medium. It's not, because I tell people it's not the presence of paint, it's the absence of paint often that creates it. So it all has to do with the way I prepare my canvas.
Okay.
Well, normally you put gesso on your canvas,
Right.
which is what I do also like everybody else. I work on a black base all the time. But depending on whether or not I seal my base, like when you do gesso, for the people who don't know what it is, it's like a flat on the walls. It allows you to put your acrylic on top of it and for it to hold well. So what I will do, depending on whether I put just gesso or I mix a little bit of paint in my gesso, it's going to make a difference between the canvas soaking up, literally, the paint rapidly, or the paint gliding on the canvas.
Right.
So what I will do is, depending on what I want to create, I'll leave either my canvas a little bit more porous, so it will just absorb, and then create an absence of paint, and then I will work with that. Because what I do is I'll apply my color most of the time, depending on what effect I want to do. I'll do my black gesso, let it dry, and then I'll apply some white all over it, which I will leave liquid. And then I will apply my colors. I will place my color when I want to have it. And then I'll start playing with it. I'll use my knife to go. Often when you use your knife, people say we use it to go over. Me, I put enough paint that I will go under and make the paint slide and resurface and keep these spaces that I want. And I'll work with that when it's wet for maybe an hour or two, at least to get a base where I want to position my colors. After that, I have to let it dry for a good week because I use a lot of paint. And once that is done, then I will start having fun with my painting. Then I start painting with it. Basically, you know that I paint, what I do is I paint in 3D. Okay, I have 3D effects, so when you look at my paintings, the colors will float.
Yes.
So what I tell everybody is, first of all, I've got a fractured cornea, so I'm a little bit more adept in 3D, whatever it is. Okay, so when I look at my peers' paintings, I'll see things often that they don't realize that they've got in there. But what I do is it allows me to see what I've done in different layers, if I can put it that way. And then I will look at my abstraction like if it was figurative. And I will play with shades on that. So I will see mountains or lakes or rivers or the sky or nebulas. And I will accentuate what I see to make people see what I see. So when there's nothing, I will do a little bit like you do in figurative, do the shades and do the positioning. I'll use the positioning. I try and have a balanced painting, and I'll position my things, you know, to make sure that they're balanced, that your eye has the feeling that it recognizes something. It's not there, but you got the feeling that you're seeing something. So I want to intrigue your eye, and I always said that I would create universes that don't exist, at least not here, or we haven't discovered them yet, and that's what I do. And I started also adding some people say they're bubbles, or they're moons, or they're orbs, I'm not satisfied with just one, because I know there are more. A lot of people don't know that, but for example, Mars has got a few nebulous planets around here, so what I'm creating actually exists. I actually recently fell upon an image that was on the Hubble site, and I said, wow, they're beginning to copy me now. Because it really looked like one of my paintings, because there are a lot of nebulous moons that exist around the moons, but we don't see those. So this is my pleasure. I like to create. I like to play with what people think don't exist, but I make exist in my paintings. I love the colors. I like to have balance in my colors. I normally start with 4 colors only. It looks like I have a lot, but it's just the mix of the colors that makes that. I always use a white and, like I said, black, but it's a black blue or black brown. So I'll use like a carbon black or a Payne's gray. And then the other 2, I always have one gold or silver or orange color, which is the sun, and another one. And I play with that.
Sounds exciting. Sounds like the creative process is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it can be pretty lengthy though, because when I do that, obviously when you start, you don't always have everything that you want on your canvas.
Right.
Or sometimes you have extras that you don't want. So the challenge after that is once it's dry, you take your canvas and you start painting in it. So you have to eliminate all the elements that, for me, shouldn't be there. I have to make sure my lines flow, that there's no hiccups anywhere, or if there's not enough of something or too much of something, I need to take out or add, and then I need to add all the elements that I want. So I create for my pleasure, but just to intrigue people. I like people to be able to dive into paintings and dream. I like them if they're hurt in any way, or if they're depressed, or whatever the state of mind. I want them to be looking at the paintings and just feel good and feel that they can move on to a better place.
Wonderful. And we have an upcoming solo exhibition.
Yes, we do.
Of your works. Can you tell us a little bit of a peek of what you're bringing for that exhibit?
Okay. I'm bringing my latest production, most of it, there's going to be many things.
Yes.
I'm bringing my latest production, which will be more into like my moons and my orbs. And I've got actually I just brought in some 30 by 48 inches. I'm sending you next week 9 30 by 40 inches. Okay. And I'm hoping to finish on time a few round ones. I don't know if I'll have, they're started, but I don't know if I'll have time to finish them. I also have a lot of derivative products. So I've got some of my umbrellas that you've seen, which are made from my paintings. You got some bags. I got some miniature paintings too, because one of the things that was important for me is that everybody should be able to acquire art, even if it's just a little piece. I started many, many years ago with buying a tiny little one, which I thought was expensive, but I still love it as of this day. So I do some mini ones that you can acquire, and it's a good way to start. And they're all originals, and they're not copies or anything. They're just, everyone is painted, and there's as much in the small ones as there is in the bigger ones. And I got a few smaller ones, but mainly you're going to have the larger ones because you have the room here, and it's always nice to look at that, and people can just dive in. And one of the other things that I absolutely love is when I come here and have the chance to exchange with young people who are studying in art or just starting or not sure. And I tell them, look, if you can dream it, you can accomplish it. I mean, just visualize it and know where you want to go, and you can accomplish it. Believe in yourself. The key is to believe in yourself, okay? So if you're convinced as to where you want to go, other people will look at you and will follow your dreams with you and will support you in your dreams.
Wow. Thank you. That sounds beautiful and inspiring.
Well, trying to. I also, in Canada, as you know, I give classes to other artists on on the business side more, how to position themselves. A lot of artists are shy, are afraid to talk about what they do. If nobody knows, nobody's going to be interested in you, okay? You have to be out there. You also have to be able to talk to people. You have to love people, basically. If you are attentive to what people have to say, everyone has got a message for you. Whether it's a child, whether it's an older person, I've had the most incredible exchanges here. When I leave here, my heart is this big, whether it be with the other artists or whether it be with the visitors. And I go home and I'm so inspired when I go home. And that, I would say, you're partly guilty for me adding more moons probably and softening up what I'm doing, because we're creating for peace.
Yes.
After last year, when I had the honor of getting a prize also, what happened is I got home and it stuck with me. I said I have to create more for peace, and not changing what I do, but my friends who've seen what I've done, my latest production, they said somehow, Renee, it's softer. You brought out the more feminine side, because my paintings were really aggressive. So I said, well, I know who's guilty for that.
That's good to know.
It's just to be around other artists. I found it was very humbling.
Yes.
We all think we've accomplished a lot in our lives, or we try to accomplish a lot. But last year, when I was listening to what everybody was saying, where they were from, what they had done, you go, wow, I got to go back home and start doing something. You get the feeling that you have not gone as far as you should have and could have. So I thought it was very inspiring.
Oh, that's wonderful. But I think you've gone really far. I mean, yeah, you're at a great stage in your career, and you have given a lot to other artists as well. So, yeah, you've done a lot.
I think that a lot of people are afraid to share what they know and afraid to give to other artists. What people need to realize is there's enough for everybody on this planet, okay? Yeah. If you have to be happy for the other artist. It's not because an artist is sitting next to you at an exhibition that he sells that it took away from you. The people who come in and want to buy have a connection with your artwork. Whether the other artist is there or not there, it's not going to make a difference. They're not going to buy more or less from you. If they like what you do, if they connect with what you do, they will. It doesn't matter who's next to you. Yes. And quite the contrary. If you have a lot of artists who have beautiful things around you, you attract people. Oh, yeah. Because energetically, it's just, you create something that people feel. Just like last night. There was so much love in that room. It was absolutely amazing.
True.
Yeah.
That was.
We were all touched. I mean,
wow,
most of us are not, don't or are able to speak in public or not crybabies or anything. We were all like, we're going to lose our voice. It was funny. Yeah. Men and women.
Yes, I could feel it.
But everybody was in a safe environment.
Yes.
So everybody understood what everybody else was feeling. Yes. And it was like, it was just amazing. It was just amazing.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Well, I want to thank you for this moment, and I'm looking forward to this solo exhibition. It's really exciting. I take the opportunity to invite everyone. We're going to have the dates on screen, the address and everything, where you have to come and see Rebels Universe, which is incredible.
Yeah, and I will be very happy to share with you all the little details and what is in every painting, why I call them what they're called, and you have to come in person to see the effect in 3D.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you.
So thank you so very much, Viviana.
Thanks.
And thank you also, Alan, who's behind the scene, who is a big element in making all of this happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because social media is a big beast, if I can put it that way. And you and Alan have conquered it in an amazing way.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget, stay inspired.